Here we go, mudlarking again on the Rumney River as we take the footpath towards the north.
Right, the water's too deep there, so we're going to try crossing here and then walking up there and crossing back over the falls.
It's as easy as that.
Yes, we really will try not to fall in.
I'll go first.
We keep the camera running though, because oops, there is always the chance you hear a big splash and the camera will disappear under the water with me on the other end, or Phil will fall in. Oh, that wasn't too bad so far. Ah, it's getting a bit deep now. What have you found now? Another scooter.
Another scooter. Get that out of the water.
Yep, that shouldn't be in here. Right, we're going to carry on. Hold tight, everyone. It's getting deep. Where should we go? Look for a good footing place.
One instant raised bed.
Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, shame we can't get that home.
Well, look, it collapses.
Yes, but it's a bit heavy.
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to get it across to the other side anyway, put it near the path.
Okie dokie. Now Phil's going to try crossing back over the falls while carrying a heavy raised bed. As you can see, these falls are not too deep here. They're quite stable too, so I think we're quite safe. Sorry if it's a bit of a bumpy ride. I do try to keep the camera still, but it's very difficult when you're on these rocks. And the water's getting noisy, so you won't hear much from us possibly for a couple of minutes.
That's a pretty tree.
Oh, look at that. Right, here we go. I think we just ended up in the middle of the river on an island. We're across, but I don't know if we're going to get anywhere when we're over there. Oh, this is difficult because you can't see the bottom. You probably can't hear me either. It's a muffled sound. There we are, we're over. Easy as that. Oh, I can see something absolutely fabulous. We have to get over there. Can you see what I can see? Right, I'll keep the camera running, but I think this is possibly going to beat me. When you think of mudlarking, you think of just wandering along in a little bit of mud, peaceful and calm, and we end up trying to cross the rapids.
Guess what?
What?
I got to go back.
Why?
I found a brick. And I can see words on it.
Right, you go look at that and we're going to see what I spotted.
I'm going back, but I'm going to put this raised bed down first.
Good idea. Right, let's see if you can see what I spotted. This, I think, is one of our more exciting finds. Look at that. It's a steering wheel.
Wonder if that was British Leyland.
I don't know. Oh, that's nice. Any plastic on it? No, that seems to be metal and bakelite. Oh, we found many bits of cars, but never a steering wheel. It's rather heavy though. I don't know if we're going to be able to get that home today. We'll have to think about it. Oh, well done. Bring it over. We'll have a look. Lots of stones as usual, and lots of sticks. Max, our grandson, loves to find sticks, so he'd be in his element here. Oh, is that a fossil? I can see some lines on a stone. Yes, there's a piece of a fossil. Not a huge one, but a pretty one. There's a lot of rubbish caught in these trees. Oh, if only we were closer to home. Look at this. Perfect for our garden. We got some wood there. Oh, they are well and firmly jammed, but there's a pair of goggles. Nope, they're going to have to stay.
Bristol.
Oh, right.
But not just Bristol. Is it Cattybrook Brick Company?
Yes, it looks like.
Bristol.
Yes.
Not certain I've had one of those. I've had a Bristol brick on this river. But that's possibly not a Cattybrook.
Right, we'll have a look.
There
See
we
if we
go.
can find any information.
Found a brick.
Oh, right. Oops. The water's a bit deep here, but I think we can get over safely. There we go. And let's have a look
Wonder
at
if
this.
it's another one from Bristol. Oh no. Star Brick Company. Is there Newport?
Yep.
There we go.
What's this big lump here? Ah. No. It had dividers inside it. And it's round there with... There's the bottom. So it stood up, do you think? Like that. What on earth was that? Unless it's off a rooftop and it's a finial for the end of the apex of the roof. That's the only thing I can come up with. What do you think? Oh no, is that what I think it is? I'm not going to get too excited, but I've just seen that. Oh, this is exciting. I'm going to savour the moment in case it's what I think it is. Ooh, I think it is. We'll clear it off because there's more of it. Still going.
It's not a long twig, is it?
Oh, still in.
Got my screwdriver.
I'm going to do this very carefully.
There you go.
Something sticking. Oop. No, this is exciting.
Ah no.
Oh, it's a piece of wire.
Ah.
I thought that was the end of a pipe stem. Oh, how disappointing.
I got a baby brick.
Oh, that's cute.
It's a brick that's been cut off and worn down.
Does
But
look
it looks
like a baby one.
brick.
Hasn't fully grown yet.
And somewhat modern, but perhaps we could have a little game of, do you recognise the logo?
Oh, the Bin It campaign. Is it?
There you go, see? And obviously, if it was the Bin It campaign, they didn't bin it.
No.
But
Didn't listen.
We will. Ah, that was so exciting for the moment.
There's some ceramics, that's plain. And right by Phil here, what's this? Oh, look. It's got a pattern on it. That's a really nice piece. Let's give it a wash with some water. It's not the cleanest water in the world, a bit rusty. Oh, isn't that pretty?
Just over half a brick. But due to previously finding one, I'd say Little Mill,
Yeah.
Brick Company, Pontypool. There we are, so we've had Pontypool, Newport and Bristol all within 20 yards of each other.
Yep.
Cosmopolitan bit of river this.
Let's take a little shortcut, he says. I think we can get back to the path this way, he says.
Wait, I can see the path.
Oh, good. This isn't the beginning of the journey. We've been a couple of minutes now trying to get through, climb over things. The prickles and brambles. Oh, but we've made it. Oh, easy as that. Where now?
Onward, Macduff.
We are walking along, but I had to show you this tree. Whoops, it's not very well, but look at all the furry bits on there. All that moss and texture. Isn't that lovely? I don't think it's very well. I think it's completely dead, which is a shame. But there's still plenty of life going on the actual tree itself with all the plants and no doubt lots of insects.
A big beach here.
Oh, good, a big beach.
A big drop.
Ah, right.
But I can do it. I'm sure you can follow.
I'll jump, you can catch me. Oh dear.
There you go. If you want to have the camera in case you fall here.
Oh, thank you, yes.
Then, worth the while.
We're down.
Look at that.
Ooh.
I can see a brick already.
Your brick radar's working?
Yes, it's about 30 yards away and I reckon there's writing on it. Can you see it? I'm off to see.
Oh yes, let's go have a look.
I'm off to find out. Well, even at this distance, no wonder I could see the writing. It's bold, it's simple, it's Ebervale yet again. Look.
No, let's go have a look. It's quite a rocky, pebbly beach, isn't it?
Even upside down I can see Ebervale from 40 paces.
Let's have a look.
Maybe.
Ebervale. Still, I'm sure we'll find some other things on this beach because it's such a lovely place, and we know we'll always find little bits of fossils, interesting stones if we find nothing else, but I'm sure we'll find some bits and pieces that are really interesting. Down there you can see where we found the steering wheel. About there. What have you found?
I just noticed this bit here and I thought that looks curved.
Oh, it does, doesn't
See,
it?
it is.
I wonder what, is it stone or?
I'm not sure, it could be concrete.
Oh, it's a big bit of sewer pipe.
There we go.
There goes the train. Don't know if we can see it through the trees. No.
Yeah, it's interesting about that train there. That they run every 15 minutes from Rumney to Cardiff. And that was opened in the 1850s. I think it was around 1858 because of the boom in the industries around here. But often we say these days everything overruns. Back in the old days, back in the Victorian times, they did everything to budget. Well, I can pop that bubble right now, because when the Act of Parliament was passed to grant the right to lay that railway line, in, I believe the first Act of Parliament was on April the 27th, 1854, they allowed for £100,000 as a share capital to be raised to do the project. Then they were back in Parliament shortly after, passing a second act to raise another 130,000. So it cost more than double the price they quoted. But having said that, that line made a profit for its investors for over a century because they didn't half ship some stuff.
For such a big beach, there's not as much on here as I thought, so I think it's time to get in the water. So come on, pop your wellies on and in we go. what's that? Oh, that's nice. Ah, it's concrete. I thought it was stone, but it's a bit of concrete. Still an interesting piece of stone. Giant hagstone. What can we see through the hagstone? The water's lovely and clear here, so I'll pop you down to look. You can see some little tiny fish. My father always used to say they were barrabites. I have no idea what they are. But don't forget, shout if you see something. Over there is one of those things from the railway. Let's see if we can get close enough to pick it up. We find loads of these around here. One there, and I also saw another one in the water somewhere. I've lost it now, but there are just quite a lot of them here. It's difficult at the moment because my shadow is in the way of the camera. Let's move you to the side. Get it right.
Some letters here.
All right.
Don't know how much of this we can get.
PD1. Ooh, that's a big lump of rock. Well, stone, what is it? A brick, is it? Is it a marker to say, I've seen those, they sign that there's something underneath the pavement or the road when they need to dig it up, like a water main or a drain?
Possibly. Of course,
that's my guess.
First thing that comes to mind when I see the letters PD, which I'm not saying is relevant on this occasion, is Powell Dyffryn.
Oh, right, yes.
Because Powell Dyffryn were the company that owned the mines around here.
Right.
So I'm not saying this is necessarily linked to that. It could be something completely different. But the PDs, that's what they used to call it.
Right.
They weren't a popular bunch with the working men, obviously, and the reference was to PDs.
Right, what about that there?
PDs.
Is that another one?
Oh, look now.
Let's see if there's PD on this one. And is it PD1 or PD some other number?
It's a bit more worn, isn't it? Oh, hang on.
Trowbridge. Stourbridge something brothers.
Right. Well, that's interesting, isn't it?
I wonder if there are any more around.
Let's have a look.
Look, here's some writing over here. On this one.
Oh, no.
A and J Rudry. I think it's A and J.
I've never had a Rudry brick before.
It's an engineering brick, it's very heavy.
It's very heavy and very thin. Possibly an engineering brick or a brick for a tunnel.
Oh yes, could be.
You know, where they put them all like this, all the way around.
Do they make that noise then?
It does. It always makes that noise. When you put them in, they go...
Oh, interesting.
You didn't know that. You learned that here. And if you believe that, you believe anything.
What you got?
This I can identify.
Right.
Courtesy of working in the mines. That's a we're terrible in this part of the world for not pronouncing our H's. And I almost call this a armoured hose. Whereas I should say an armoured hose.
Let's have a look at your armoured. Oh, you got me saying armoured now.
I know.
Armoured hose.
That's your hose going through the centre. If you look down here, this hasn't perished yet. That's the outer casing.
Right there.
And in between, there's the metal. See the, the pattern of the wires? That was so that you could carry fluid underground. For instance, if you had the cutter travelling along the face, cutting the coal,
right,
it would have to have continuous water supply. So along with the cables that gave it the electricity, you'd have an armoured hose that would carry the water. And also we use these for hydraulics, because everything underground virtually was powered by hydraulics, including the earth moving machinery, the Emcos and the Dintas. Very often they were hydraulic. So you'd have one of these hoses trailing behind. And as they worked, you'd have a man behind pulling the hose back as it reversed,
Right.
and letting it go forward as it went forward. So there's a bit of armoured hose from down the mine.
I've just spotted this rather large piece of glass. That's huge, but I'm going to say that that is something like the door of an automatic washing machine. I don't think it's very old at all. Quite often when we come out for a mudlark in Wales, it ends up as a stone lark really. Less mud, more stones. It's just the way the land is here. We don't get a lot of mud in most of the valley areas because there is just such a lot of stone. As you can see when I show you where we're walking. Oh no, there's another piece of that big thing we saw back there. This is divided too. I wonder what that was. It's a massive thing. You can see there the fingerprints. Let's take it into the sunshine to make it easier to see. The fingerprints of the person who pushed the clay into the mould. That is really interesting. But quite unidentifiable for me. What do you think?
Saying about the stones on the floor, and I spotted this one, and you would swear that that was hieroglyphics.
Oh yes, the
Wouldn't you?
secret code.
You know, the mystery of the seal.
Ooh. Perhaps it is. Can anybody read that and tell us what it says? This is a nice thick chunk of river glass. Oh, I like that. And also, it's a feather. Not very old, but very pretty. I'd assume that's off a pigeon. Ooh, look at this. Wow. Is that a fossil of a tree trunk?
Another possibility for this.
Yeah.
Underground, we used to have to drain the methane out of the strata.
Right.
And they used to drill into the strata, into the rock. Also, you get test boring in order to discover if there's a coal seam in a particular location.
Right.
Could that be the markings where the piece possibly... On the other hand, I see your point. This is definitely stone. And those are very clear marks.
I wonder.
Come on everyone, get your thinking caps on. What is it?
Is that a piece of stone core or is it a fossilised tree trunk?
I have a half a brick here in the ground.
Right.
I can see the word, but it's not one I recognise. A-N-D-O-N. Any ideas? If it was O, then I'd say London.
But it's A, so it's Andon. No idea.
Can't think of a local area with that name.
Oh, anybody know?
Yet again, we've hit a part of the river where we have these huge walls. Amazing workmanship to put a stone wall. What is that? It's 20 feet high. And the reason there's a modern railing at the top and through the trees there's a second one is because that railway line I spoke of that was established from 1858 from Rumney down to the docks in Cardiff is just where the second rail is. So the trains run through there and we've been listening to them as we've been walking along the river. But still, even with this massive stone wall, it takes nothing away from the beauty of the location. It's absolutely stunning here. Said to Caroline, it reminds me of the time we spent in Switzerland on a large stone island there in the middle of some rapids. And here we are, just a mile from our house. Incredible. Water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. That's what the line in the Ancient Mariner said, and I certainly wouldn't fancy drinking this water that we walk through today. But of course we have the luxury that we can carry water with us, because it is important, especially on a hot day like this, not to get dehydrated. If you go back to the time of the cholera epidemics, 150, 200 years ago in these parts, the water was a killer. And for that reason, brewing beer became extremely popular. Now, a lot of the public houses brewed their own beer, home brew. But then you started to get the breweries. And the reason I mention that is because at the head of this river and at the head of the railway line above it, because railway lines very often follow the contours of the river. Why not? Nature knows the best route. There is somewhere known as the Rumney Brewery. And that brewery actually opened 2 decades before the railway line. But 2 decades after the railway line in the 1870s, they were turning out 12,500 barrels of beer a day. And providing, I believe it was 29, what would then become known as tide houses. Public houses that were only serving their beer. So there we go. It wasn't just the brick companies that grew up in response to the industry around here, but there was a brewery in Rumney which also expanded at a rapid rate to quench the thirst of all the workers. So let's see what we can find, and I think I'll just quench my thirst.
It's getting a bit easier underfoot here. As you can see, the rocks and stones are much smaller, and there's a piece of pottery. Oh, do you think that's plain or patterned?
I found a thing!
A thing? Ooh, Phil's found a thing. Let's go have a look, see what he's found.
Found a thingy!
A thingy? What sort of thingy?
I'm thinking maybe one of them like tin dishes.
On
Cast,
a
like
downpipe for the troughin.
takes the downpipe from there. But I'm not sure. Or maybe, I'm not sure.
Let's have a look.
It's definitely something to do with
Oh, it's
water.
got patterns on it. Yes, I'd say that was going to be on the side of a house. And then,
And that would have been like dish shaped.
yes.
The drains coming in
And
and water then flowing down the downpipe.
Well, that's really pretty.
See the pattern there? Like circles.
Very decorative.
That was gorgeous when it was whole.
Oh, yes. I found something that's probably not very interesting to most people. But there's this bit of old pencil. I'm going to take that home and do a drawing with it. Why not? And what's this? It's the wheel of something. Quite industrial. It's too small for a trolley wheel. What do you think? This looks interesting. That's a big chunk of glass, probably the bottom of a very old bottle. You can see by the thickness. Quite a chunk.
Found a brick!
Oh, what's on your brick?
It's a different brick. I haven't got a clue where it's from. I have to do some research. It's just 3 letters. G-K-N, is that what it says?
I think so. There's something sticking up here. I'm going to guess at a piece of cutlery. No, it's part of an old tin opener. I found these 2 things. Do you think they go together? This is a bit of a mug that says, I'm assuming, coffee. And here's a handle. So is this both the same part of a coffee mug, or are they different? Nice interesting pieces of china. I love anything with words on, so that's coming home with me. And this is going into my handle collection. There's something big and round and metal, and I've got to see what it is. It's huge. What on earth could that be? Right, there's some rocks inside it. No, I think we're going to have to get Phil to move that. What do you think it is? A wheel cover? Of a very old car? Oh, a bin lid. I can see there's the hinge. It's a litter bin from the country park. It's a few miles upstream, I think. Yes, there's the handle. Oh, or a gong from ancient China.
My bag's getting rather heavy now, so it's time for us to head back. But don't forget, if you've enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up. And remember, until you come back and join us on the next one, have fun. Bye.
Bye.